I completed Oaken Tower's Get Logged Sun achievement on accident, and sadly, I didn't record it. But, given my insane luck and all the carefully improvised planning that I awkwardly stumbled into, I thought I'd walk you through how I did it just so that you can maybe complete this extremely luck-based achievement on your own. For those unfamiliar with Oaken Tower, let me tell you all a brief summary. It's a roguelite, deck builder style, synergy-focused, asynchronous auto-battler where you equip a tower made up of 6 slots with weapons, spells, shields, and bizarre magical trinkets to battle against other players' previous builds from around the world. You can think about it kind of like a party of Pokemon, except none of the weapons are sentient or sapient, hopefully, and also they battle all at once, and also it's nothing like Pokemon. But there's 6 slots to use in your party. I mean, your tower. With that brief description out of the way, let's talk about my bizarre, ludicrously lucky run. I started the session with a different achievement in mind. I was trying to get the Become the Moon achievement, where you win against your 10th opponent using 6 moon veils. My strategy for this was simple. Level up for the first 3 rounds, ignoring whether I won or lost. Ideally, I would actually lose early because the health loss is minimal, and if I won in a landslide, that would have given me less time in each battle to collect gold from items like Hook and the Brass Knife. Also, for every win, I would inch my way closer to a deadline. That 10th trophy had to be won with all 6 moon veils in my tower, so I needed to buy time to scale my build. Of course, I obviously couldn't lose every fight, or I'd lose and have to start all over, which I was more than prepared for. I had no idea what kind of run I was about to have. In my early rounds, I got insanely lucky with getting a brass knife early, as well as a brass shield. I took the priest's blessing for the bonus income, like usual. I then lucked out when I got the pirate encounter, which gave me my first hook with some bonus crit to generate even more early gold. From there, I was able to find several brass shields, a relatively early dream catcher, and even a Midas diary. I bought goblets whenever I saw them, along with treasure chests, because they were cheap and would accrue income if you build them up into 2 stars. When my income was stable and I had leveled up to have much higher combat health than my opponents, I began reroll. I upgraded my existing items, namely my Dream Catcher, which I used to lower the cooldown of my vital build components to only 1 second. I had gotten lucky again when I found the Salesman, who I took the discount license perk from, which gave me some free gold and cheaper rerolls across the board. Then I looked for the Cutlass to help carry me through as I searched for my moon veils. However, I got even more lucky with some shop rerolls that gave me luck potions, and some more guaranteed lucky rerolls, from which I actually got an insanely early Crown Forge brew. I planned on using this for my moon veils, and I used the potion of appearance from that shop on the very next moon veil I saw, to try and get them up to 2 stars so I could, enhance them to 3 stars. I rerolled one more time after that, and oh, the shopkeeper tries to scam you. There's the log that I was just talking to my buddy about, saying I'd probably never 100% the game with how rare and inconvenient this one little joke item would be to find and rank up before that final 10th win. I lamented not having my potion of appearance anymore. I bought the log anyway, because it was only 20 gold and, just to be safe. Had my brain been fully on, I might have had the common sense to open up OBS and start recording. Instead, I just kept playing, expecting my run to end in, optimistically, 6 moon veils and an extra achievement completed for having encountered my first ever log. Or, at worst, a near success with 8 or 9 wins and utter disappointment. Then, when I re-rolled the shop, there was a mirror elixir. I bought it, but I didn't use it right away, because I figured if I didn't know for sure that the moon veil run was going to work, I should at least hold off before I commit to using it. Then I re-rolled again, and... what? I found another potion of appearance. At this point, I had played Oaken Tower for about 30 total hours. I knew that potions of appearance were absolutely busted, just one of them can make an item that would normally be impossible to find in the shop without a lucky roll into an everyday run-of-the-mill occurrence. Be it a cursed item, a mimic rod, a forged blade, or, I had to assume, a log. So I did what anyone would do, and I immediately tested my hypothesis. Then I re-rolled and I re-rolled, making sure to invest in level-ups only when I felt it necessary to up my chances of survival, focusing entirely on finding moon veils and, sure enough, the logs that kept appearing in my shop. At this stage, I was 8 wins into the run and sitting at 4 hearts. I knew I hadn't used my revive yet, but I wasn't sure if I could afford to lose health and risk losing the fight after that in order to greed for a little extra income to push my build towards its finish line. I built my gold accruing items for combat and had faith that win or lose, I would get enough money to luck my way into an achievement or 2. Sure enough, I lost the next battle and went down to 1 heart, plus the backup revive from the Muriel encounter. In the next shop, as I re-rolled down all my goblet money, I managed to get an insanely lucky second Crown Forge brew, and from there I had full confidence that I was going to get at least 1 achievement completed. I entered my next battle and won with my cutlass, brass shield, and several of my moon veils. Then, I re-rolled as much as I could, buying every log and moon veil I found to see which achievement I would be able to complete. It took selling all of my gold-generating items except for my cutlass, which I assumed I might need now that it had stacked up some serious damage, to afford all the items I needed and survive the final fight. I had already acquired all the moon veils I needed to win with the Become the Moon achievement in mind, but knowing that I couldn't complete both, I decided to use the strongest of my moon veils to push my log over the finish line. I bought log after log, used my mirror elixir from earlier, and finally, the Crown Forge brew to rank it up to a 3-star. I even bought an extra log with the spare change I had left over. All there was to do was to win the final fight. I had done well enough with managing my health and income to have 1 heart left, and even if I lost, I would still have that 1 revive from the Muriel encounter. But I didn't even need it. Earlier in the run, I had found a moon essence potion in a present during one of my insanely lucky rerolls. With this, I turned my several thousand damage cutlass into a moon item, which meant that my moon veils would add multicast to it at the start of the fight. With my tower built and my opponent, Mr. Goldberg, before me, I pressed fight. The opposing tower's health bar shrank to nothing almost instantly. The Steam achievement popped up in the bottom right of my screen. Get logged, son. I had done it. Even though the achievement has basically a 0.0% completion rate at the time of recording this, I somehow managed to not only build a successful gold-generating cutlass run, pivot that into a successful moonveil hunt, and then discover my first ever log in the shop, but I also ended up actually completing the rarest achievement in Oaken Tower only 11 minutes later. A total of 30-some hours into my total playtime. The best part? It isn't even the last achievement I need for this game. Obviously, I still need to complete the Become the Moon achievement, but there's also 5 others that I just haven't finished yet. 6 total achievements I haven't completed, including 3 whole ranked tiers that I need to climb. Somehow, I lucked out and got the rarest achievement in Oaken Tower, not just on my first try, and not just during my first log encounter, but on accident. Here's hoping that, with a little luck of your own, you too can complete this incredibly addicting early access game. Above all else, this game has taught me one extremely important lesson. The next time I try to play a game, an achievement hunt, hit the record button.